I'll come in, if it's me, I'll use me. I would come in and spend a day in the district,
Yeah.
and I would meet with the
Do
different
it
stakeholder
the
groups
Saturday.
for them to ask questions.
I know some
and for
districts
us to
go out
share
of
what the
state to
process
do
is
it.
about, why we're doing it, why it's critical for the district.
They
kind of
have
thing.
fun,
Okay?
We don't have
Strategic
fun.
planning is a vision exercise.
right.
Who's responsible for the vision of the district?
We are.
The superintendent.
And a
By
superintendent.
doing this, you're
Together.
asking for input, you're asking for everybody to get in the boat with you. But you still own the outcome, because it's gonna come back to you for approval. You're gonna be part of this whole process. But by bringing stakeholders in, you're gonna be the voice of everybody, which means now they own it. They're not buying into it, they own it, 'cause they were there to take it. That third, strategic formulation, we bring retrievers. We bring 40 people plus the 7 of you. We come in for 8, 9 hours on a Saturday usually. We go over all this data, and we look at your current vision, mission, and core values. Through the day, we're gonna go through all that data, and by the end of the day, we're gonna have a vision, a mission, core values, and goal statements written. So by the time we leave that night, you have the framework for your strategic plan. You can look at it and go, okay, I can see what we're working on. Then 2 weeks later, I'll come back out and I work with the administrative and leadership teams to say, okay, here's what the goal is. Let's look at current reality. What are we doing today? Where do we want to be in 5 years? And what are the steps that we have to do in between? And from there, we break down what can we do in the first year. And then we further break it down, what can we do in each quarter? So that's the marching orders, but that's an action plan, that's not us. You will approve the vision, the mission, core values, and the goals. We're gonna share the objectives, the first year objectives, so you know what they are, so you can monitor them. But you don't have to vote on it. It's an ongoing piece for them. What they do is at the end of the first year, you do the same thing, you bring the administrators in, the core people, and they look at, do the same thing, okay, where are we at today, where do we wanna be, what are the steps we still need to do? I'm actually going up to a district in 2 weeks to do a second year analysis for them, because they're meeting with the community that evening. So they wanna say, okay, here's what we've done, and here's what we're gonna do next year, kind of thing. So by bringing those stakeholders in, they become your voice in the community. People start to question, you're a board member, you're elected, or you're a teacher, you get paid to be here, kind of thing. But when you're a parent, a community member, a business owner, a student, you don't have that same, so people tend to listen to you more. So when we bring those kind of people to the table with us, it draws strength to it. So that retreat team would be 3 or 4 teachers, 3 or 4 support staff, 3 or 4 parents, students, business owners, community members who don't have students in the district. If you've got a big school of choice in and out, you might have school of choice parents that come in, and 1 or 2 school of choice parents that send them out. You want to hear those voices.
Yeah.
And I challenge every board, I want you to go out and find the person who hates your school district the loudest. And we want them to do.
Yeah.
Because if we can get them to neutral, think about the credibility they have in the communities. Everybody goes to them and go, you know what? I have to tell you, think about all these things that we used to say because we didn't know. And now we're known that there's a big binder of all this data that they get to keep so they can share. I had a board member up in UP a number of years ago. And I had to go up, so we did it all in weeks. I did listening sessions at every building through the week, did retreats every. He was at every listening station, at every listening station in every building. He brought the media to every listening session. He was so bent on, they were going to close the middle school and not use it for anything. And that was his forte. By the time we got done, he chaired the committee that was going to look at usage of that building.
Yeah.
And today he's on that board.
Yeah.
He's one of the best board members. Because from
Good for him.
outside in, he saw, it's not what I thought. I didn't have the data, I didn't have the
Yeah.
information. We invite them to the table. It has a lot of power.
Yes.
That becomes your driving document for the next 5 years. And what I do is invite you to bring that retreat team back, and every year, about 60 to 90 minutes, they get an update on the goals. If something needs to change, maybe the goals are no longer appropriate, you ask their blessing, you say, okay, we need to change this, what are your thoughts? Because now it's still the stakeholder group who's leading the discussion, and become accountability leader. when you're looking at it, you can go through it all. Typically, you're looking at, it's like roughly about 7,000 for a home.
What'd you
About
say?
7,000. MASB does offer
You said it cost 7,000.
funding at 7,000.
Huh? What's 7,000?
Huh?
What's 7,000?
We pay
To
MASB.
do-
We
to
pay
do
Oh,
them.
okay.
We pay
No, I'm
them.
sorry. No, I thought you.
We pay them.
No, I'm listening. But I,
You know it's not free.
Yes.
I know it's not for. I was just trying to figure it. I'm sorry.
7,000 for
Roughly
him to come out.
$7,000 to do it.
Roughly.
That covers the facilitator, all the printing, all the information, all the data gathering, everything. It's turnkey from you, it's for the most part.
7,000 or higher.
Could be. And yeah, usually we find it's usually $1 plus expenses. And expenses are
7 to 10,000.
We know what the expenses, we know what the expenses are gonna be, because we know how many trips we have to make. If it's me, I'm 40 minutes away, so there's no hotels or anything, it's a quick, so mileage is really low. MASB does offer grants to school boards though, for these kind of things that you can apply for. You can get up to half of the cost back as grant.
Good. I don't know about this. I think
Mr.
we okay.
So, this, are you selling MASB's strategic?
I'm selling the process. Whether we do it, you bring another group in and try to do it inside, that's up to you guys. I'm just telling you the best practices show.
So, the portrait of a graduate, that's something separate that we already have, right? This is
Yes.
something
Yeah, that's
else.
best
This is
practices.
something completely different.
We're doing best practices.
So it's like, so we started the portrait of, because how it was presented to us was the portrait of a graduate was helping us to now contribute to the strategic. So that was like phase 1, and then now we use that and enter into phase 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a strategic plan.
It is
No,
not.
no.
And
But it's part of
You gotta
it.
remember, this touches everybody. We're,
The strategic plan is much, much bigger.
Yeah.
the-
Yeah. Because you remember how I was looking at
For
it.
your students and your parents.
Yeah.
This goes beyond that. Usually the goals that come out of this are, big one right now is attracting and retaining staff, or improve communication. If you think about it, we send a ton of stuff out to the community. When was the last time you guys went out and asked the community, is it working for you?
Exactly.
We never asked the other side, is
That's
this
right.
work for you? We just say, put it on the website, do this, do that. I work with a district on the west side of the state, and when one of their goals, and when they started talking to the parents, they're like, you guys don't talk to us. You're like, what do you mean, send all this stuff out. 51% of them only speak Spanish in the houses.
And it's being sent out in English.
Yeah.
So they wrote the goal and say, one of the strategic goals for two-way communication, one of the objectives was everything would go out into a language. So they had to go out and figure out how to do this. They went and hired 2 translators that worked in the district.
Yeah.
So if they could be there for IEPs or anything like that, if they would translate, so nothing left the district unless it was bilingual. Came out of strategic plan because they did the due diligence and go, oh, we missed the mark. So you see communication, leadership, you
Right.
see on academics, class opportunities, what offerings do we high or low? You'll see learning environment is bullying, it's safety, physical safety, or facilities could be done. Usually we get 4 goals, sometimes a 5th goal. They're pretty broad, so we have a lot of room underneath them for you guys to help maneuver. We say we want to develop and implement a 2-way communication plan. That can go a lot of ways, but who's going to help make that decision?
Yeah.
You guys.
So it's like, for instance, I always tell like school district, because I'm an education advocate, one of my roles outside of my school district, and it's like communication, meaning like if a parent like email you or they're expecting you to have that communication with them, I think that's where a lot of it's missed. I said that's where the frustration builds. That's where the anger builds, was like not being in communication with the teacher. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm 100%. It's like that piece really boggles me to this day still. It's like come on. So yeah.
Mr. Bailey.
So this portrait of a graduate, as far as I know, when I was being sold, it was supposed to be, now we're having a 5-year goal plan set up. I didn't see where it was fractured down into the portrait of graduate, and now we have MSB. You know what I mean? I thought it was
So-
just one process. Is it
Yeah,
multiple?
it is multiple process. So let me help you. We, at least Mrs. Martin and I, have been asking for a strategic plan for several years. We have not had one in this district. The last one we did, we started when Dr. Serena Shivers was new to this district. 10 years. Okay, so we started asking, and Jason felt very strongly that portrait of a graduate was the first step.
Yeah.
Because if we know, and this is why, and this was his, if I am correct, his thought was, if we know what we want a Redford Union graduate to be and to look like, then we can set our strategic plan to feed into that. So he felt very strongly that portrait of a graduate needed to come first. They are two separate entities. So the portrait of a graduate really is a reflection of what we want our students to look like. But a strategic plan could be, like back in the day, before we did all this fun work, part of our strategic plan was improving our facilities, right? We don't need that now because we've just sunk, $60 million and we're about to do another, 50 into our buildings. But we might say we need more community involvement, right?
Learning environment.
Or
You got these great facilities.
right.
But what's the culture inside?
Inside the
Right,
building.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
they talked about
it's a
the
bigger
stage
picture, and
all
it
that
takes
stuff.
that portrait of a graduate piece, plays into that bigger picture, is what a strategic plan really
And
is.
so I guess because remember when
talked about
I was
the
looking at
stage.
the portrait of a graduate one time, I was like,
the stage.
here I go. I was like, this it? And, so I remember questioning that because it's like, okay, like I thought it was gonna be something different, something like more, but no, that's what it was.
It's really just one
It's just like, okay, this is what
little
we
piece
want.
of the puzzle.
One piece of the puzzle. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, now we got this one piece done. So it's like now we're adding to it with the strategic plan. I knew that going into it, that was not the strategic plan. And yeah. So and we talked about it a lot. And yeah.
talked about it.
So we talked about it, and it's done, and I love it.
We came back from leadership last year. We were like, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get this done. We
Yeah.
were both like chomping at the bit to get this done,
Yeah.
and a strategic plan started.
Yeah.
You decided to do strategic plans, so you just like that. You would probably start after the first of the year.
Mhm.
It would take,
Takes a
again,
while.
I'll use our timelines, about 8 weeks to happen.
Yeah.
You would have it back to the board by April, May board meeting, and approved before your staff and students leave, so they'll know what you're looking for. And we start right away, the calendar starts right, once you approve it, the first quarter is the next 2 months. But that would be probably the logical timeline. The hardest part is finding a retreat that fits everybody's schedules, and that's usually the hardest.
So, question. Let's say, for instance, how would you present this information to the board to see if to move forward? I know we got to talk to our superintendent, but and of course he has to say, all right, we're gonna get him. We got to all be on board.
We had a long discussion yesterday.
He's on board. That's why he brought.
That's why I
Okay.
brought it to-
It wasn't
If you wasn't on
originally
board,
planned
the
to bring this
superintendent,
in.
you board president, you blessed it, I wouldn't have brought it to you. But the
Okay.
superintendent, we talked about it yesterday, he actually asked me about it. Not
Okay.
me asking him, he brought it up.
Thanks.
I've been doing a little arm twist.
Yeah. And so,
I don't think it was never about him not being on.
Well,
board.
yeah.
You know,
What you have in front of you right now is what we call the pitch.
Mhm.
If we were coming out blind, we would bring this presentation out, and
Mhm.
we'd go through all the steps.
yeah.
Such that we'd go through this whole process.
Yeah.
Probably 20 minutes, half hour, to answer any questions. I just figured it was easy to bring it to you tonight in that formal atmosphere,
Yeah.
so you can cheat on the self-assessment and think about,
What's
you
the
know,
alternative?
what's that?
What's the alternative?
Not having one? And going
We
backwards?
got that.
Yeah,
Okay.
going backwards.
So,
The alternative though is there's other
There are other
professional
firms.
groups that do it.
like what?
Um,
Who's the other one that does superintendent search?
MOI.
Yeah, they do it, right?
MOI.
I'm
Who's
not
the,
sure.
who
But I
MOI?
know there's a couple other groups that do it, one's out of Oak, they do it out of Oakland, but they tend to do the really big districts. the
Yeah.
Uticas, the Detroit.
You guys did our last one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who did?
Walled Lake.
Yeah.
What
So
about
it's
Wall Lake?
whoever you feel confident with,
It's a company out of Oakland County that did well.
Out of Wall Lake. They did Wall Lake or
They
they're?
they did their strategic
yeah,
plan.
they usually do the much bigger
It's- yeah.
districts. That's just who they, that's their niche. They go in and look at the, Utica with 27,000 students.
Yeah.
That's not our world.
It is,
This is our world that we live in. This is where the work needs to happen because we can make the biggest impact on students. That's right here. When you're looking at a Utica, a superintendent's 4 layers out of the classroom, 5 layers out of the classroom. Here, the superintendent's 1 layer out of the classroom. So we make it, so if it's us, whoever does it, you go out and figure out how you want to get it done. What I'm showing you is just our process, but what our best practices of getting stakeholders involved, using data, using research-based criteria to come through to do a process. We just do a lot of it. That's one of our niches. Superintendent search, superintendent strategic plans, just things that we offer. We're a professional arm for the schools. You're all members, and that's part of, we can keep the prices down because your dues support it.
yeah.
We don't change our prices. We haven't changed CBA classes, it was the first time we changed it, 7 years this year. It hasn't gone up and up. So, they try, it's hard to keep. And that's why the board put money aside to give grants to those. I won't be hurt if you don't choose us. Come on. I will be hurt if
We
you
don't
don't
have
choose
one.
to do it.
That's right. Say that.
Well, I don't understand how school district gets away without having a strategic plan anyways.
How do they get away with not having students learn?
Right.
Ooh.
Same reason, you got boards that just go through the motions, and the community lets them get away with it.
And look at, when you look, Jim, look at the lack of community involvement we have, right? I think it's that until you,
Whether they have involvement or not does not matter.
but they're not.
We're here to make doggone sure for a
Absolutely.
purpose.
Absolutely,
That's part of the
but if the
strategic
community
planning.
doesn't care, then they're not holding the board accountable to
Accountable.
a strategic
We
plan.
hold ourselves responsible.
Agreed.
Which is why this discussion even came up, because it's, you guys starting to look at, okay, we're doing here, but how do we start moving up from there? How do we self-assessments,
Get better, yeah.
evaluations for
Absolutely.
superintendent, goal setting,
Yeah.
strategic planning. That's how we take you to another level.
Yes.
another plane.
Yes.
And
As your board president said, it's a legacy piece. You're leaving things in better shape
then
than
when
you
we
found
found
them.
them.
That's right.
And that's the key is, when you leave, when your time's up,
That's right.
you want somebody else to come in and say, oh, these guys did a great job, and we can go from here and go. We don't have to go back and redo everything because they were
We got something to build from.
sauce and didn't do anything, kind of thing. And I work with those districts, don't get me wrong. We have a lot of those districts, and we call that job security in my role, because I have gone with those districts.
But the-
So.
Yeah, so we're happy that our eyes are waking up. We're coming more conscious board. We're looking at things a little bit deeper, and we're saying, hey, look, how can we improve? And so that's why we're here.
Yep.
So if you guys have a discussion, if you want me to get a proposal sent to you, just so you know what the numbers look like, I'm happy to get that done for you. And then, understand, I'm selling strategic planning, I'm not selling the service. I
Oh,
want you to
yeah.
understand the critical mass of
Cause you can do
strategic
strategic planning on your own.
By all means, we'd love to do it.
What'd you say?
You can do it on your own.
We'd love to partner with you, but it's not just like self-assessment. You can do it for free, which is not, there's other resources available to you. It's your choice.
What's
We're
the
not saying-
cost for you to come in to do that, to do it with us?
It's $825.
Okay.
It's a normal 3-hour workshop,
Okay,
$275 an hour.
okay.
But you said it'll be maybe on a Saturday or?
Well, for the strategic planning,
It's a
can do-
different.
we usually do it on a Saturday. I'm doing one right now in Byron, which is up in and Marion and Cadillac. They can't get Saturday degree on, so they're going to do that 2 mornings back to back.
Okay,
Or do like 4 to 8.
so going with what the board
It's a pain in the
says
ass For me, because I have to make 2 long trips.
to a trip.
We did,
But there's ways to do it. I've done it in 3 sessions, 3-hour sessions in a district, 3 weeks in a row over in the Jackson area. There's ways to get it done to meet your needs.
Yeah.
We tend to, at least I do, try to be very cognizant of time and energy. If it doesn't work one way, then we'll find another way to make it work.
Yeah.
That's my job as a facilitator, is to grease the wheels so you get this done.
To the chair.
Mr. Bailey?
So the thing is I don't think there's any way to get outside this in terms of best practices, okay? A plan is something essential. I don't care whether it's a business, government, or school district, right?
Great. Mhm.
So we know we need this.
Yes,
So he mentioned he offered us to put a proposal together.
yes.
What I would suggest, instead of delaying it, well, let's think about it for another week, another month, whatever, and just keep dragging this stuff out, is ask him to do the proposal, but at the same time, for due diligence, is listen to what other groups might be able to provide a service and see what's available.
So,
So in other words, ask him before he goes if he
Yeah.
can put a proposal
Yep,
together.
I can email them, build it, tell you pretty clear. You know, we have a number of districts that we've done, and I can give you some districts to call if you want references.
I will, okay.
But yes, I can do that.
So
no problem.
I have made a note here and, to, that at our next board meeting, we're gonna have a discussion item regarding self-assessment.
There's no commitment here, so there's no big thing.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe she
Well,
jumps
Yeah,
in
but,
and says,
okay, but here's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Here's what I'm gonna say.
yeah.
I respectfully do not feel that it's respectful to our leadership team for us, for me, to say, put a proposal together without our superintendent having, being here. But, given that I know he asked you to bring this to us, I will send you an email tomorrow, or maybe probably this evening when I get home, it depends. And I will copy Jason, and we will, and then we'll ask for a proposal from you, and then we'll look into who else does it, because that's the kind of thing that would come in a regular board meeting. We would hear a proposal from MASB and however many other people do it, and then we would make a decision that would require board action, whichever partner we use. So yes, I will request a proposal from MASB, and then we'll find out who else does it, and we can get proposals from them as well.
I was wondering if you can CC our board secretary on that.
Yes,
Thank you.
and I'm sure that either Jason or Jackie know who else does strategic planning.
I'm gonna wait for you to give me an email of what you want.
Okay,
The stuff we talked about, self-assessment, any of that. You email me what you want.
okay.
I won't get ahead of the curve and say I'll send it. I'll wait for your direction.
Yeah, so I'll ask you for those timelines regarding evaluation. I will ask you for, I made myself a note, and
This presentation.
this presentation, yeah.
And I did tell Jason when we talked, I said that just in coverage
Okay.
from my point of view, so
Yeah,
you get that feedback.
yeah.
Just wanted to let you know, I don't know if y'all heard it because there was a lot going on at the one time. It's $825 to do the assessment, the board evaluation assessment conversation piece.
Where he comes back
where
and
he
helps
comes
us
back.
after we do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
And that's perfectly, I mean, that's perfectly reasonable amount of money. Okay, so, let me just make sure we're clear here. We're gonna discuss on the 6th whether or not we wanna do self-assessment, as long as everybody's okay with self-assessment. We will go with consensus of the board, does not require action. We will look into strategic
Would that be
planning.
majority of the board?
Yes, if the majority of the board says, I'm comfortable with doing self-assessment, that is what we will do.
Okay.
But it's just discussion, it doesn't require a vote. And then we'll look into strategic planning proposals from MASB and whomever else. I will CC Megan on that, and I'll make sure Jason is in the loop. You were right, Mr. Bailey, that class is tomorrow. So tomorrow, the 17th, 6 to 9 p.m. over Zoom, Ethics in Action. It's a 3-credit class.
It's the what number?
Ethics in Action.
Oh, okay,
It's
yeah, I saw that.
CBA 327. I think that's one of the ones that's really hard to get into. So it's being offered through Wayne County Association of
What
School
time is
Boards.
it?
It's from 6 to 9. There's a link. You got to go to the MASB website and register for it if you want to get in. And then Tuesday, September 30th, 6 to 9, again over Zoom, CBA 270, which is Leadership in Action. I pulled up my email from Mike.
Oh, she left?
Yes,
Oh.
she had to go.
Okay.
So,
You said September 20th.
September 30th, which is a Tuesday, and then tomorrow, like you were right, I had the date completely wrong in my head. Let's see if there's anything
So that's
else.
Teresa too, right? G7?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, those are big. So,
September the 30th.
but they're Zoom. You don't have to go anywhere. You're going to be online. Because what we found, so what the CASBA School Board of Directors found was that we weren't getting enough people sign up for classes because they don't want to come and do 6 to 9 after working all day. So we reached out to MASB. We said, is there an opportunity to do, because we're required to offer 2 classes a year. We reached out to MASB. We said, is there a way that we can do this virtually? And we got much bigger participation because you can go home, you can get your jammies on, you can load that Zoom, and you can get so you're getting the full credit. You're just not having to go over to reset. So that's how we, as a CASBA board, have decided to go forward.
No, but we still have to register through.
You still have to register through MASB.
And it's going to
then
say Rain Risa though.
It's going to tell you Zoom.
Oh.
It's going to tell you Zoom.
So you said we registered through MASB?
Yeah, just like you would register for any class, you just go to the MASB website. If you can get into your district emails, there's an email from Mike Lapkus.
Yeah, he sends them on.
He
Yeah.
does, because, he has, he's Mike.
Yeah.
When is the recent meeting?
I do not, hold on. I should
They're
know.
just a couple of years now.
Yeah, there's only a couple. It'll be sometime in October.
I saw something. He did say that. I think Mike sent it out.
I don't remember.
Is there a reason why they reduced it?
People isn't showing probably.
Getting people. We're trying to get a good attendance, but we're all board members, right? And so we're already overloaded with, our regular meetings, our workshop meetings. We need to get. We just weren't getting that many people there. You've been where there's not been that many people. It's a lot to get. We pay for that room. RISA doesn't give us that free. They don't give us that food free. Wayne County Association of School Boards pays for that room. We pay for that food. We pay for any speakers. That's there's and so if people aren't coming,
Can do something else.
The
Yeah.
meetings I've been to, there's been a good turnout. And who's the individual now, president?
Terry Hughes from Harper
So
Woods is
she
the board
changed
president.
something. She had board members come up and talk about their districts. South Redford talked about data protection.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
They had a tactic South
Yep,
Redford.
we still do that.
You had somebody that went to the Washington and made a presentation.
Yep,
Now, take that a step further, right? Because the idea is, how can we improve things, and you got great ideas occurring, but the fact is that nobody knows about it. If we could film that and make it available just like the Zoom meetings, so you put it up on YouTube and people from the different districts can see that, not only from Wayne County, but the northern counties and whatever, you know what I mean?
yeah, I could take that back to my board, absolutely.
We could be doing so much more, and we're not. We should be moving education forward.
I agree.
Some of these school districts have fantastic ideas, but because we don't know about them,
Yeah, I will,
Yeah,
the
that's a
next
good
time we have an
idea.
executive board
Absolutely.
meeting, I will bring that
I mean,
back to them, because we might get a better,
We can keynote too.
yes, and you have before,
I'm keynoting Oakland County next month
and we try to,
as their speaker.
We-
And
we-
we don't charge.
yeah, we look at, and we try to find, people who don't charge us. We do look at what do we feel like boards need to hear about, right? So there's always a legislative update, there's always a keynote. We've talked about having Brian Galdes, who does all that work around teen suicide, coming in. He's the former superintendent from South Redford. He came and spoke to us about teen suicide rates last year. I've offered our Hope Squad in because people are impressed with that. So it's just about planning, it's about the executive board.
so what's cool is once you videotape it,
Yeah,
you can miss the presentation.
yeah,
But it's there.
yep,
And
But-
now, these people from all over the state,
Kids-
outside the state, can see and spread these ideas.
yeah, absolutely,
Which
absolutely.
we're not doing now.
Okay, anything else? Anybody got anything else heavy on their minds? All right, I will make sure this class size thing gets on the agenda and at the next meeting. Or some discussion or something around it. Future meeting dates, Monday, October 6th, regular meeting, 5:30 PM, McGowan School District meeting room right here. Tuesday, October 21st, board workshop again here in the meeting room. Monday, November 3rd, regular meeting here in the district meeting room. And Tuesday, November 18th, board workshop right here in our little home. Can I get a motion to adjourn? I think Mrs. Martin got it. Seconded by Mr. Osowski. Is there any discussion? There better not be. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. It is 7:43. We did pretty good.
I did not realize that we had more. I know we got our calendar, but I didn't realize it was the first Monday of the month. I said, wait a minute, how this get passed? And I was kind of upset at myself that I didn't.
I think that there was, because it used to be the second Monday of the month. I
Yeah.
think there was something funky with our calendar. And we didn't catch
We
it.
didn't get. I was looking like, wait a minute, how are we the first Monday?
I'll leave it
I
here.
was like, I'm still adjusting to that.
It's a law for, it's a law for,
I said, next year?